It's time for your weekend outlook. Hi, I'm George the Weather Dad, and right now I think you're going to like the weekend. In fact, we have a stretch of some beautiful weather right here in the Midwest. Now, question is, how long will it last? Well, let's take a look. Friday, I think, is still going to be a beautiful day across the area temperature-wise. Yellow, again, reflects normal temperatures. That puts us in the middle 80s right here in the Ohio Valley. Notice a little cluster of yellow. That's reflecting possibly some severe weather for those of you in Iowa as well as Missouri. The heat certainly well off towards the west and as well as the southeast. But you can kind of see here, temperature is pretty close to normal and the humidity level is still pretty nice and comfortable. Here on Saturday, not much change, maybe a few degrees warmer, but the heat's starting to really build there off towards the west. Here on Sunday, it's starting to work its way more towards the east. So as we go through the next several days, do expect temperatures to start going up above normal, and you can kind of see that here for your Sunday as high pressure still pretty much well intact. And then by next Wednesday, the heat continues, especially there in the southern plains, very, very hot, and also the northern plains. We got a little bit of energy up in that area. By next Saturday, not much change again. You're seeing some patches of yellow, and that again reflects cloud cover and some showers and thunderstorms. But overall, the extreme heat stays off towards the west there in the central U.S. and far west out in California and Nevada and Arizona. But up towards the northeast, pretty darn nice. Now, as far as precipitation is concerned, this is on your Friday. We got a patch again, as I mentioned, possibly some severe weather for those of you in Iowa and Missouri and portions of Illinois. I don't think we're going to see anything right here in the Cincinnati area. A couple more showers in the lower Tennessee Valley on Friday. On Saturday, it kind of gets its act together a little bit. That energy stays in this area. It could be, again, some severe weather. Have to keep an eye on that. But back home, looks pretty darn nice for Saturday. Now on Sunday, this is where it gets a little bit confusing. One model showing it's going to be pretty nice overall, and I think Sunday will be. But notice this patch of energy up towards the north. One of the models rushes it towards the southeast, and it gets it here late Sunday night and on into Monday morning. So I'm kind of leaning in that direction. We have to keep an eye on it at this point in time, but I think the weekend itself will be pretty darn nice. A lot of activity down into the southeast and the state of Florida. Here on Wednesday, a couple of little frontal systems works their way in, but these are going to be mainly reflecting the heat and humidity that we're going to see increase across the Midwest. And then by next Saturday, pretty much the same thing. Not a lot of activity here, so as far as any real severe weather, excluding the next couple of days out in the central area, central plains, and down into the southeast, is going to be pretty darn quiet. Now, of course, we're getting pretty close to August. Let's take a look at the tropics, and right now still very quiet, and that's because of the El Nino that's going on. Now the Pacific is a different story. You see a storm out in that area, but also these frontal systems are working their way towards the south and southeast, and that's helping to keep things pretty quiet also in the central Atlantic at this point in time. But this is an area we're going to have to keep an eye on as we head on to August as well as September, because that, of course, is peak hurricane season. But over the next couple of weeks, looking pretty darn quiet. So enjoy the upcoming weekend. I'm George, the Weather Dad.